In our top story tonight, as Barbadians get ready to join the world in ushering in the new year, some cities across the globe have already welcomed 2017 with spectacular firework displays.
That beautiful scene was just a few hours ago over Sydney Harbour in Australia. Right now, it's roughly around 5 o'clock in the morning in Australia, so they're having their first morning of 2017. This, what you're seeing right here, is one of the world's largest fireworks displays. Meantime, though, in Hong Kong, equally as stunning, fireworks lit up the sky above the iconic Victoria Harbour as thousands cheered along the shore. And even North Korea is actually celebrating too. Pyongyang hosted a quieter, much sort of calmer fireworks show earlier.
And with only a few hours until the biggest party night of the year here in Barbados, not only are the women making their final preparations, but the men are too. The CBC team hit the streets to see what's trending for men.
Whether it was to buy a new shirt or pants or even just to get a fresh haircut, the men made sure they got all their last-minute needs. Over at the Broad Street men's store, owner Evan Husbands believes men are becoming even more fashion conscious, with customers buying big brands such as Polo Ralph Lauren, Levi's and Tommy Hilfiger.
Well, the men like to dress now, dress up and all that, and the men is buying more shirts with nice patterns in them, flowered shirts, that even pants that have flowers on them, things like that. So the fellas shopping for nice designs and nice colors.
Things were even busier at the Bionic Man shop, with customers choosing from a variety of shoes, slacks and dress shirts. Owner Abraham Nami told us what customers were buying.
The people looking for the latest in fashion. We have the latest things as jacket and pants, the slim fit and so on. So we bring in a lot of these things, and shoes to match, hats, cane, everything.
For other men, getting that perfect haircut was on the agenda, and it was proving to be a busy day for the barbers at Elite Barbershop. Barber Paul Whitney explained some of the styles that men have been getting.
The most popular haircut now is the fade, like some similar to what I'm doing now. A little bit more on top and size lower. Kind of like a lay part down through the side or something. Well, I find nowadays the older folks are more into the big beards, nice broad shave.
And the guys wanted to leave you with this message.
Happy New Year from the Elite Barbershop.
Tristan Ward, CBC News.
In some sad news now, police have identified the American visitor who fell to his death last night. He is 26-year-old Alex Maino, who arrived in Barbados on Monday. Lawmen say Maino was working on a stage at Indian Pond, St. Joseph, when he fell from a 20-foot scaffolding that was being used to prepare a property for Old Year's Night festivities. He was rushed to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital but was pronounced dead on arrival. The incident occurred around 7:20 last night. CBC understands that the party is being hosted by the Harbour Lights nightclub. Efforts to reach someone there for comment were unsuccessful, but it was confirmed that the event is still scheduled to take place. Investigations are continuing. Well, there's been a significant drop in the number of people who died on the roads this year compared with last year. And as Barbadians prepare to celebrate the new year, the head of the Barbados Road Safety Association wants them to take every precaution to ensure there are no more fatalities. Charmaine Roland Bowen says at last count there were 10 fatalities in 2016 compared with 23 in 2015.
So we're looking at not a reduction of 13, we're looking at 13 lives has been saved in 2016. And going forward, we still have a few hours left in today, and we are desperately appealing to road users, all different categories of road users, to be extremely vigilant at this time, to think safety first. You know, think about tomorrow, think about 2017, think about your families, think about your loved ones, think about yourself and your safety.
Ms. Roland Bowen says while officials are concerned about people who drink and drive, all road users have a responsibility to be safe.
We are asking passengers in vehicles, please do not get inside a vehicle with someone who has been drinking alcohol, any amount of alcohol. We're also asking pedestrians, to be safe, exercise caution as you walk the streets. Please try to wear something that is conspicuous, something that is bright, so drivers will be able to see you. We're asking persons not to speed on our roads because we know speeding is a major factor, contributing factor in fatalities.
Challenging but productive. That's how President of the Barbados Renewable Energy Association, or BREA, Aidan Rogers, is describing the past year. And with 2017 a few hours away, BREA has already identified several New Year goals. The association hopes to build on the momentum gained from the island's first renewable energy conference held last November. Mr. Rogers says BREA will continue to advocate the use of the country's indigenous energy sources, which are so readily available, as he believes they can help to solve many of the problems which we currently face.
That is lowering the operational cost of our tourism sector, because our hotel sector is a high energy consumer, making it more affordable for local Barbadian manufacturers to produce their goods, affording opportunities for Barbadians to invest the over $5 billion that we have in deposits in the credit unions and the commercial banks into the most lucrative sector in the economy, and also trying to see how we can actually green our economy and possibly rebrand our very own tourism product by saying, look, we are an energy conscious society, we are promoting a green economy.
Mr. Rogers says the success of these projects will rely heavily on public buy-in. As such, the association will place greater emphasis on its public engagement program.
We think that BREA really has to be at the vanguard in really breaking down the message in simple, everyday parlance, or language to average Barbadians to realize, look, this is not just a few tree huggers or persons with fancy talk talking about technologies. There's a practical connection between what we're doing and our everyday existence.
And there will also be some major changes in the management of BREA, as Executive Director Clyde Griffith is expected to step down from the post. We'll take a break here, but we'll have more news after this break.
Comfort and joy, oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
I have always known him to be sad and lonely. So each Christmas, I make it my duty to visit him and give him a gift. This particular Christmas, when I approached him, he looked more lonely and sadder than previous years. I still greeted him with the traditional Happy Christmas, and after giving him the gift, which surprisingly he didn't open immediately as he used to, I asked him, "And what would you like to do for Christmas?" He looked long and hard at me, and as tears welled up in his eyes, he said, "The one gift I would love to have again is my family. Just to see them and feel their presence will make my Christmas a happy one." You know why? In my lonely moments, which I brought on myself, I realize that my family is God's Christmas gift to me. A message from the Roman Catholic Church in Barbados.
The CBC family has lost a loved one. She's former manager Zelda Gibson, who was the last head of the then STV department. She's also the sister of former Prime Minister Sir Lloyd Erskine Sandiford. Reports indicate that Miss Gibson was found dead in her home by a relative yesterday. Lana Simmons-Rowe, MCTV service coordinator, was Miss Gibson's secretary at the time.
I worked alongside Mrs. Gibson as her secretary for 10 years. Mrs. G, as she was affectionately known, was the then Deputy General Manager of STV back in 1987. She saw that project through to the beginning of MCTV. Mrs. G was never a person of pomp and pageantry. She never flaunted the fact that she was the sister of the then Prime Minister. I used to say to Mrs. G, why are you standing in line when you could just go through and get served? And in her humble way, she would do it every time. She had a sense of humor beyond imagination, and we had some great laughs together. Even at times when I would get her mad at something I did, she would just say, Lana, 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 and we were back to normal. I will truly miss keeping in contact with Mrs. G. May she rest.
Well, the Christmas season is not only a special time for family and food, but also for partying. That was the case when Limer's Cruise Entertainment brought Port Vale Sugar Factory to life with its popular event, Seventh Heaven. Several hundreds packed the venue on December 27th for much more than just Christmas music. For Limer's Cruise promoter Christopher John, there's something sweet about holding Seventh Heaven at a sugar factory.
We spent 2 years in Buckley's. This year we decided to move it to Portville, and it has delivered. We came down on a site visit a couple months ago and realized that Portville had all the attributes that we needed to deliver an excellent lighting concept, a perfect party venue, and somewhere that the people could really enjoy themselves, and we could display everything that Limer's is for the people to just have a good time.
A number of overseas acts joined local DJs such as Puffy to ensure everyone had a good time.
You know, we bring in DJs from St. Vincent, Energy Overload. We have Little Chris, who's also from St. Vincent, now based in New York. We're bringing Kerry the drummer, who is from Trinidad, also based in New York. And Rigo, who's a fine American that comes down here for every event that we have. And these guys just come to bring it all to make sure these people have a blast.
Thousands of Barbadians, including many who attended Seventh Heaven, are counting down the hours to the start of celebrations to ring in the new year. Lisa Broom, CBC News.